What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have this 2005 Corvette, and it popped the check engine light, and the check engine light is bank 1 and bank 2 lean code, and 2 is the crankshaft pulley appears to be bent. I'm not quite sure. I'll show you guys in a minute. Can't see it right now, but the crankshaft pulley is wobbling and it's causing a belt squeak with the guy already replaced all the tensioners, the pulleys, the idler pulleys down here. But it is the crankshaft pulley, and it's really going like this. But with the air leak issue, I already have the, so there's a lovely, you know, Harbor Freight one. I got it starting to heat up down here. But I found this port right here was siliconed in, and the silicone was pretty much coming apart, and it had a big air gap in it. So I pulled it out, cleaned it up, and then put JB Weld on it, which I think that's a common problem. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't really work on Corvettes too much. But I'm going to hook the smoke machine up now into that port right here, and then block off this intake so I can fill up to see if maybe the manifold's leaking or something else. I already checked the purge valve, which is right here, and that's good. So it's really, he's already replaced the O2 sensors too, so this is everything that I've checked out already. Replaced O2 sensors left and right. It appears to me that he pulled the intake off to put intake gaskets on it because all the injector plugs are broken. He has zip ties on a lot of these right here. See the zip tie right there. And too, if you look down here, I don't know how well, let me turn the light on. I don't know how well you can see that down here or not, but to me it looks clean on the heads. So it kind of appears that maybe that he's already done intake gaskets to try to resolve this issue. I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, this is an auction car, right? So we're buying somebody else's problems. So I'm not sure exactly what this guy's done. So that's what we're here to figure out. So I'm gonna hook up the smoke machine, take the intake off, and see if I see any leaks. Because obviously, with both banks leaking, or both banks having lean codes, it means it's coming from a central area. It's not like an exhaust leak or something like that. And this car doesn't have exhaust leak. I already checked that. So let me hook up the smoke machine, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got this hooked off, I got the intake blocked off, and now it's pretty much just a waiting game, honestly. We gotta figure out where this leak is coming from, you guys. And hopefully there is a leak, because that would be an easy fix, right? So it's been about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so with the smoke machine on here, and I don't see any leaks. So it leads me to suspect that maybe this was actually leaking, and maybe that he only changed the upper O2 sensors and not the lower, because I have not checked the lower ones. But of course, with a car That's literally, you know, I mean, that's not, that doesn't even do it justice here. When it's as low as my hand here, these lifts don't work very good. Which we do have to lift it up eventually to do that crank pulley down there. That might be another day project since it's the day before the New Year's. I'm gonna turn this off, I think, and let that harden up, clear the codes in the car, and probably go drive it again. I know you can reset the trim in this car, which I'll show you real quick. So they have this function in this Alltel computer here. I guess what it does is tries to relearn the fuel trims, which they really weren't that bad. Alright, so the long-term fuel trim, that's not actually 14, it's just because it's not running. But the short term was -3 on both sides, which to me, that's not really that bad. So maybe I can turn on the fuel trim enable button on this thing, let it run, and maybe it'll calculate itself. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really work on Chevrolets too much, or Corvettes. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna try this after that thing dries, and then we'll go drive it again. Pretty much the check engine light came back on probably around the same spot it came on last time, and it's only at highway speeds. And I didn't even clear the code in this car. I ended up fixing the hose right there, and the code went on by itself at idle. And I was like, all right, well, you know, easy fix, right? Well, it came back on. So my new opinion is that we have a fuel issue, and it could be by the injectors being zip tied on there. And I'm gonna see if I can order all the plugs for the injectors so we can depin them and put them in new connectors so they actually clip in. Because I mean, a zip tie is a good fix, but it's not a long-term fix on a broken connector, right? Hopefully that fixes our issue, because it's not an air leak. We already know it. We already tested it. So it's either going to be the lower oxygen sensors that haven't been replaced yet are bad or going bad, or it's going to be the zip ties on the injectors, or it's a failing fuel pump, which is also possible. But a failing fuel pump usually has other signs than a lean code. Usually they just won't run, pretty much. Or be stuttering and stuff like that with low fuel pressure. And I don't think it's that. It's got to be something stupid, because the car runs and it runs great, and the code comes and goes at this point. Now I do have the gauge hooked up here because I want to test fuel pressure on the rail to see if it's dropping off or anything weird. And two is, I really didn't realize how loose these were, because I really didn't want to mess around with these. But these bad boys are definitely loose. Like, I mean, I can just pull them right off of here. Hold up, let me use the other hand. Yeah, like, I mean, this bad boy can just come right on off of here. See? I mean, they're completely loose. Just to rule them out, because obviously, like, they are completely loose. They could be vibrating and causing a slight misfire, or not getting good contact to fire the injectors. So I'm going to replace all three of those, and then we're going to test fuel pressure really quick. I'm going to hook the computer up to it and recheck the codes, make sure it is a lean code that we're still working with. Alright, So I got the gauge hooked up, and we're sitting at 60 pounds, which is good. But if you can see this, I don't know. You can see that in the camera. It's running a little rough here. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I don't know. It really doesn't do it. I don't know. You can kind of see it. It is running a little rough. And I'm really leaning that these injector plugs are bad. Like the three of them, three that aren't connected right, are actually the culprits of why it's running like this. Because everything I see and tested the car is right so far. So I'm a little bit nervous now. This only used to be 2 on the engine, and now we have 4 codes on the engine. Alright, you guys, so this is what I wanted to see actually. We have 4 codes now for the engine ECM. Before, when we were troubleshooting it last time, we only had 2 codes, a P0171 and a P0174 code. And one with bank 1 lean, the other one bank 2 lean, obviously. The code for troubleshooting. Now the engine's running rough. I've been driving it for the last 2 days, and I live about 30 minutes away from here. So it really tests the vehicle, right? Just city driving, it does not test the vehicle whatsoever. I can tell you that now. But you put a car on the highway and you drive it fast, not fast, but you know, the speed limit, it's going to show itself. When you're holding the engine at 2,000-3,000 RPMs, whatever the car runs, for long distance, it's going to show the problem. And here is the problem. It's what I was expecting. I don't know why this thing's focusing so bad here recently. Injector 7 control circuit, engine misfire detected, fuel system lean, and fuel system lean. So right there, it tells me that the 3 injectors that have the broken plug need to be replaced, and it's probably going to solve this issue because we have fuel pressure, we have no air leaks, and the PCV system's good, the EVAP system's good. Good fuel pressure. Got brand new O2 sensors on it. Like I said, I don't know the lowers, but the uppers are brand new. There's no codes for the O2 sensors or nothing. They are reading right on the computer. So therefore, it seems that the injector plugs are bad, which we already know they're bad, but they're not connected right. The backyard fix did not work on this car. So I will be ordering new plugs for it and depinning them and repinning them. And here just a little bit because they have them up the road. So I'm going to go ahead and order them and put them in and see if that fixes our issue. Alright guys, so after fixing the plugs, we still had, I deleted all the codes and went into the O2 sensor profile on this car, and pretty much it's still lean. It was like 16% lean on the long-term fuel trims. I reset it and it still went lean. It was like 10 on one side, like 14, 15 on the other side, and even the short term were still lean just a little bit. And I'm like, all right, so let me just straighten up this intake here, because everything's keyed right on most vehicles if it's stopped. So I'll show you here. So see this keyway right here? This was like down here and causing the mass airflow sensor to kick out. It was still sealed right there. It was just kicked out. But when I did that, I took this off, the intake off down here, took it off, and looked at the computer again. And we'll walk over here to the laptop. Let me turn the light off here. Now it's rich. It's taking away fuel, and it's only doing that because I took the big air filter off right here, and I just blew it out. I doubt you're gonna be able to see anything here, but this bad boy is pretty dirty, and usually when you see these fins like crumpled up like that, it usually means it's sucking the intake in when you're flooring it, and it's bending the fins. Usually, unless you damage it putting it in. I mean, it could be. So I literally just blew it out with the air gun. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me turn the light back on. Maybe it'll reflect it. I don't know. All these like black spots right here are from the intake, or from the this pipe right here. And let me see. Kind of see it in there. It's still pretty dirty, right? So it needs to be flushed out. And unfortunately, I don't have the stuff to actually clean it. What I might do is just flush it out with the garden hose, and then just let it dry, and then go pick up the stuff tomorrow to put the oil back on it. And two, I did notice while I was fiddling around with it, this was about halfway in the red. I know these things are bullcrap gauges, we all know it, but it was about halfway in the red. And I don't even know, I'm supposed to be able to reset this thing, but it ain't reset. So this could be bullcrap, I don't really know. But all I know is the car is running a bajillion times better without it. Let me see if I can't get a comparison here. I don't know. Can't really see. I'm trying to get you guys to see the engine here. It's running a bajillion times better right now. And like I said, look at the trims here. So we're looking at these long term, 0 and -1. That's like on the money. And that's literally by taking this filter off right here. And like I said, and we fixed the misfire issues. The ejectors are probably causing half the issues. Then this plug right here is probably causing half the issues. And now this filter is probably the rest of the issues, is kind of my guess. So like I said, I'm gonna clean it out and put it back on, let it dry off, put it back on, and hopefully it fixes it. It should fix it. Like I said, after everything I've seen, the engine is running mega good right now. It's not as rough as it was earlier today. Oh. See, I can't really get it on camera, but it's a lot smoother now running at idle. Before it was super choppy. So yeah, that should conclude this one for the most part, you guys. I'll probably come out with a second video for the crankshaft pulley, because I don't know when we're actually going to do it on this car. This is kind of a quick fix to get rid of the check engine light, and so we could sell the car or people can drive it, and we're not worried about the car blowing up. I mean, lean code's not going to blow the car up, but you definitely don't want a customer to get in it and check engine light comes back on in the car. So it will be, the crankshaft pulley will be fixed. It's just not going to be right now. Also, that job is pretty in depth. From what I gather, you got to drop the power steering rack, all that jazz. So, like I said, that's going to be another time. We have 2 other customers here waiting on some other stuff. So, we're going to do that and then probably jump back on the vet afterwards. So, if you liked the video, if it was helpful, if it taught you anything, you know, just let me know down in the comments what y'all want to see, what I could do better to show you guys. And if you made it this far, like and subscribe to the video. It really does. I really do appreciate it. It shows that my videos don't suck, pretty much. So, like I said, if you don't like the video, leave the thumbs up and then put down in the comments what you don't like. And if you did like the video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe and tell me what you liked about the video. And if you ever had any of these issues before. Catch you guys in the next one.